that it is part of the Christian trilogy. Now, if you look at the letters, take, for example, the first one there on the Grave Creek stone right here. You'll find it up by going through the list here, and it's an RH, and now I can't find it, but where is it? The important thing is that you don't find that kind of a letter. There it is, right here. You don't find it anyplace else. This is simple. This is a T. No problem with the A. That's simply without the crossbar. The A here is duplicated. It does have a bar. This is a combination letter with an A and the NM type of box, like this. Okay, this is a combination of both of these. So you see we've got a combination letter here, a combination letter here. This letter is a D. We don't understand what the crossbar is. We've translated it without that. But there is your Grave Creek stone compared with the Braxton stone. Appears that the Braxton stone was a little bit larger, but there's no question about the alphabet being the same on both of them. This is the alphabet as appeared on a school wall in Wales in the 1840 time frame, the same time that Schoolcraft was writing around the world. And if you notice at the very top of it, I've highlighted it here, very top, there is your Awin sign, the Trinity sign, the basis for this alphabet. And there are the letters all sketched out at that time. And here is the stone that Susan talked about. And you recall she said it's in the home of some private people that bought it for a couple dollars in the 50s. And it will be donated back to the museum upon death. And they did say that there is one letter that's wrong, that's missing. And you'll notice right in the center of it, it appears to be blocked out. I can't get my light on, so I'm going to come up here and point to it. But it's this portion right here that appears to be missing. If you put a stroke in here, that does become a P. And it does then become meaningful. So there you have the alphabet, and now you know how it became lost to Americans. The people who followed up the predecessors to Schoolcraft, Cyrus Thomas and John Wesley Powell, simply got tied up, as the Mound Builders book says, in who built the mounds. And by the time the argument, which was never really settled but got debated with Benjamin Franklin's theories and everybody else's theories, they simply lost track of the fact that this alphabet was out there. It is there. It showed up other places, and each time it's put under because nobody could adequately translate it. So there we have how the alphabet was lost, and we thank you very much for this, the time that it's taken to watch this particular film.
In respect of Professor Schoolcraft, Schoolcraft knew it was an alphabet, and when he wrote to Copenhagen and Paris and Berlin and Rome and all around Europe trying to find information on alphabets, yes, it's incredible that he did not go to Wales. It beggars the imagination. But nonetheless, everybody he wrote to recognized it as an alphabet. And the modern stamp that it's petroglyph signs of non-alphabetic origin is simply untenable. And I think it's a stamp that's been adopted because people simply couldn't read it, couldn't identify it, couldn't know what to do with it, and wouldn't admit that they didn't know. So they then made it out to be under Indian petroglyph.
Well, Ellen, if they, in 1840, if Schoolcraft had written to Wales, would anybody there have recognized it?
I'd say in every circumstance, in any crowd of three, two people would have told him.
Right off.
And would have translated.
Yeah, could have translated.
Yeah. You'll find the alphabet is sold in Wales at conventions or meetings and nationalised episodes and localised episodes now today. And people set up stalls and they have illustrated little cards, I suppose, with the alphabet on and all sorts of decoration on it. And They sell thousands and thousands every year, and most homes have probably got one hanging on the wall.
In fact, I think one of the teachers had one in one of the schools.
Yeah. Well, it was what they did. They drew up a chart of the modern alphabet,
Yeah.
A, B, C, D, E, and then they put at the bottom the organ musical system,
Right.
and then they put the Coelbren alphabet in detail with what is A, what is B, C, and they were using this in schools, teaching the children. So every school child in Wales, if he'd approached a 10-year-old child in the street, would have said to him, oh yes, that's what we have in our school, and would have known the alphabet. But Schoolcraft chose to work everywhere in Europe except Wales.
Amazing.
Astonishing.